who live in some houses that do not have any water in the house. They got one pipe running from the road, and they do everything in the yard. They used to pay $32 a month. And this government put a tax of $45 on a $32 bill.
Yes.
And you can vote about that, you.
Exactly.
Some of these people were such dire straits that they could not pay the $32 when the month comes. It was that bad. Now, if you can't pay the $32, then you put on the $45, you can't pay either. But the people who have swimming pools in their homes, they have to pay the same $45 sewage tax. Believe it or not. And those people went and vote for them again. I cannot believe that the people of this country could be so dumb. I am not pulling a punches or trying to be nice and not in the United Nations. As a matter of fact, nobody has ever approached me to become a diplomat. Mind you, I would not go on the bus and fight the Americans, but I would try my best, but I'm not diplomatic, so I'm going to tell you as I see it. So I tell you, I was upset. And I had actually decided that if the people want this government so badly, let them keep it. So I can hush my mouth and let them do what they want to do. And people are saying, well, Casper, we ain't hear you. I say, you don't want to hear me? If you listen to me and want to hear me, you will not put about 30 drones in Parliament. But somebody changed my mind. Just the last working day in July this year, government went to Parliament, to the House, and sneaked through, it was a Friday, and sneaked through amendments to the National Insurance and Social Security Act. Then we had Saturday, Sunday, Monday was a bank holiday, and then Tuesday was also a bank holiday. And the following day was the Wednesday when the Senate would have met, and the Senate was supposed to go and pass this bill. When I saw that, hell broke loose in me. I said, but these people too nasty. They're doing something that's some fundamental changes to our national insurance system, and they won't tell about anything. I could not believe, and I could not sit down and stay quiet. I couldn't. So that is the reason why I came out. Because let me tell you what they were doing, or what they're planning to do. First off, they say, oh, we're going to make national insurance more efficient, and we're going to make it a board. Barrow, the right excellent Errol Walton Barrow, made national insurance a board in 1966. So they are going to make it a board again.
So it's the board. So it's squared.
The only difference with the Barrow board and this board is that you will not be able to hire staff under the old board. The staff were public officers, civil servants. So what they did, they took that section out of the National Insurance Act. Everybody here to check in section 11. And they replaced it with a whole bunch of nonsense. And they put in now, in addition to the staff that got there, 8 new chiefs. When I say all these chiefs are no Indians. 8 new chiefs. And they set up what the criteria for their appointments will be. That is already done in the public service, so why do you have to put it in an act of Parliament? But they want to control the staff and control who is appointed to national insurance so they can bring in their folks and find jobs for them. That was bad enough. But then another part of the legislation says that you will no longer qualify for national insurance if you made 500 contributions. 500 contributions is just contributions to just less than 10 years. Because 520 contributions would make it be the 10 years. But it is just short of 10 years. So let's say no, we're going to change it to 750. So if you do not have the 750 contributions, by the time you reach 68 now, Kapos, more, you pay. You ain't get the pension. Full stop. And what that is dangerous because we have people in who work in Barbados and they decided, like, you know, things are tough. Let me go overseas and seek my fortune. So they made sure they had 600 or so contributions, and they said, good, I can get a pension. So if I go overseas and things don't work out for me, I will still have my pension when the time comes. They didn't say that from now onwards you can get 750 contributions. It says if after the 1st of January 2024 and you don't have the 750 contributions, you ain't get none. So there are people overseas right now, some of whom have called me and asked me what to do. I said, well, sweetheart, you gotta come back. You gotta come back and work for 5 years. These incompetent lot, they did all of this at the behest of the IMF. The IMF is telling them what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. And people criticize us in Sandyford, in front of Stuart, and point out in some instances. But all of them tell the IMF, you can't touch this. You can't touch these things. These things are not negotiable. But as soon as this clown comes into power, she decided that she's going to take instructions from the IMF, even if those instructions going to hurt us. She doesn't care. Don't mind the woman, she herself, Mayor cares. Mayor cares about one thing. I wasn't thinking higher. And once she's satisfied with that, anything goes. You know what a dirty is. No, you're not going to get me in that. She thinks of one thing and one thing only. And you say, "Self will go with that." But you know, she's a spoiled child, you know. And we took our government and put it in the hands of a spoiled child. Nobody can tell her anything. Her cabinet can't tell her anything. As a matter of fact, 2 of her current MPs told me that Sandra husband, this is a lady those MPs told me. So they can, I can call the names here, of course, we'll fire them. That when we had the nursing strike, Sandra husband told her in a parliamentary group meeting, sit down and talk with Caswell and get this thing sorted. Boy, she blew up. And because I had more support in the parliamentary group than she did, she won elections. And they said, well, look for Joe. She wanted to get rid of some of them. The ones that supported me. And my cause, because they were unfair to nurses in this country, and still do.
All the time.
You know? But let me get back to national insurance. So you said now we're going to have to contribute for 15 years. And then they also decided that they're going to take the retirement age from, not retirement age, the pensionable age from 67 to 68. When Tom Anderson came into power, his retirement age was already 68. He brought it down to 65. And 2 BNP administrations carried it right back to where it was. It used to be 68 before. I remember my grandmother got her pension at 68. So she's taking back everything. But what troubles me most of all is that they get their pension at 8 years. 2 terms or 8 years, whichever is greater. And they don't see anything wrong with that. And everybody spoke to it. The clown had a press conference. And she decided to tell people, oh, this was so since 1969. Well, that's not true. Pensions for MPs came about in 1969. But the retirement age, they got some senior civil servants in here, you can see a few, who they will tell you that in 1969 you could have retired in the public service at 55. You could have retired at 55 and get your pension. So Barrow then put the retirement age for MPs at 55, the same as civil servants. I see nothing wrong with that. But over time, the pensionable age for civil servants went from 55 to 60 to 65 to 67 and now 68. But you know what's happened to the MPs when? They bring it down to 50. So they will get their pension 18 years. Why they go and do a little thing now? And my child will be an adult by the time they qualify for pension. It's only 18 years. And they see nothing wrong with that because they're federal and national. Somebody said there, they think about themselves.
Yes.
Right? 18 years. But that's not enough. When they reach 68 now, they can still get a national insurance pension too. Yeah, they can still get a national insurance pension. So they can get 2 pensions and you can get 1.
If you're lucky.
But if you live so long. Because this place can't hear. And when you start drinking the sewage that Tim talk about, because you realize that they're making the zone 1 area smaller so they can put toilets in houses of all water, so you will drink that.
Yes.
Go up in the bell, and they're building a hospital up there, so they can put in a sewage plant. But this country has never maintained anything properly.
No.
So next thing you know, you have a hospital up there, 1,000 old people, and every day they get into the water. And when you say, it's water, it smells too good here. But that happened in South, what they call Monkstein Crew, you know. They took the water, they put the dump up there, they said, oh, this is zone 4 area. And down by Molyneux, this is just most of part of Sandland Estate now. They should pump water from there. Mind you, the dump is zone 4, this is the one of the lowest zones. And down the road, is Sandland is zone 1, they pump the water. But when they're pumping the water, they start smelling the garbage. And they had to abandon pumping from that location. So Sandland use the water now to wet their grass and things. So you have that experience. And you can make these zone 1 areas smaller.